the fastest way to get out of a slump. So let's look at why somebody would be in a slump to begin with. And the reason for that is because at that time or that period of time, he or she is not feeling alive. Their energies are not flowing nicely. And if you are not feeling alive, then you are more or less feeling dead. And that means that your energies are slowing down and moving towards stagnation or stillness, which is ultimately death. And the reason for this is because whatever it is that you are doing is becoming kind of like routine, and that feeling, that sense of aliveness fades away as you start becoming routine. So in order to get yourself out of a slump, we want you to feel alive. We want to get that energy flowing again. And the fastest way that I have found to getting that sense of aliveness, to feeling alive, is by doing something where you are stepping out of your comfort zone. This is very simple stuff like taking a cold shower, even having a conversation with someone where there's a little bit of tension at stake. Maybe you need to clear the air, having that conversation, meeting people, which is the thing that I really do whenever I'm feeling stuck or whenever I just want to keep the momentum going. Meeting people and actually having like a legitimate, real conversation instead of just the same routine, robotic, hi and bye, even the same kind of questions. I'm actually trying to get to know the person. The reason for this is because when you are stepping out of your comfort zone, you are more or less forcing yourself to become conscious. You will not be able to do anything out of your comfort zone, let alone do it successfully. But I'm not even sure if you'll be able to really do it unconsciously, because you're gonna have feelings of anxiety, nervousness, maybe some fear, tension, excitement. All these feelings are going to come up, and the only way to move through it is consciously. And when you are conscious, you are slightly moving into the present. The deeper your consciousness, your awareness, the deeper you fall into the present. And in the present is where there's unlimited energy, because this is where life happens. And once you are conscious and in the present, you now have access to that energy. And if you can sit in it for a little bit of time, that energy is going to enter you. And when it does, that's when you feel alive. And that's the feeling that we want to get. We want your energy to be integrating and interacting with life energy, which is just naturally vibrant, and it'll help get your energy flowing again. Just a little bit of stepping out of your comfort zone and feeling that energy, feeling that aliveness is enough to slowly get the wheels churning again, which is what we want. Ultimately, what's going on is you are reminding yourself and getting a feeling of being alive during a time where you are not feeling alive and you are, again, feeling kind of dead. And so the stepping out of your comfort zone, it's, I think, smartest to do something where you are stepping slightly out of your comfort zone as opposed to a big jump out of your comfort zone. And the reason for this is because if it's too big of a jump and you are not prepared and or don't have the capacity to handle what is going to come with it, everything that comes with it, then it could potentially scare you and be damaging, have negative effects to where you're actually having to recover from it as opposed to growing from it. And the example that I give is something slightly out of your comfort zone is literally like giving yourself a pinprick to remind yourself that you're alive. Something too far out of your comfort zone, again, if you are not able to handle it, it could be the same pinprick if you're able to handle it. But the key here is, are you able to? Do you have the capacity to? If you're not able to handle it, then that's kind of like cutting your hand off to remind yourself that you're alive. And again, it could really freak you out if you are not ready for that big of a jump. And there's no reason to do that anyways, because the pinprick works just fine. The main thing is you don't want to be doing whatever activity that you're going to do to get yourself going. You don't want that to be too casual or too robotic. There has to be some sort of pressure there, because it's that pressure that's forcing you to become conscious and dive into the present and feel alive. So you don't want to do, again, like just a high and bye to someone, because that won't do anything for you. If having like an elongated conversation to where you're really sharing some deep things about you is too much initially, that's just fine. Then maybe even going to ask them the time. Ask somebody randomly, what time is it? And push the conversation a little bit further to where, again, you're stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone, so that whatever activity you do, for you, that was stepping out of your comfort zone. You know where your comfort zone is. You know that as you approach it, you get feelings of anxiety. Just the energy is what's rising. Do the things for you, not in comparison to anyone else, not trying to match anyone else. This is just about you. You do whatever is stepping slightly out of your comfort zone for you, and feel that aliveness and get that ball rolling as soon as you can, because that's what's most important for you, is to be feeling alive. So if doing things out of your comfort zone are ways to feel alive, this is when you are feeling alive, then this also means staying too much in your comfort zone means you are feeling less alive. And if you are feeling less alive, then you will be feeling more dead. And anyways, death is the only thing that's guaranteed for us. And so it'll come when it comes. But while we are here, we must make sure that we are feeling alive. If you are in a slump, then please make it your utmost priority to get yourself out of that slump as soon as possible. And once you get out of that slump, keep on doing these things just to keep the momentum going. It's a lot easier to keep momentum going, again, than to pull yourself out of the slump. So that is all I have for you. I hope this has been of some value in one way, shape, or form. Let's make sure that we are pulling ourselves out of slumps as fast as possible, so that we're feeling alive in as much of our lives as possible, because the most important thing is that each one is feeling alive. This is our time.